Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm one of your co-hosts, Rico Borrego,
I am your other co-host, Tony Borrego.
and this is the podcast known as Relatively Sound, the spookiest podcast you will listen to that isn't about true crime.
In the cool of the evening when everything is getting kinda groovy, I call you up and ask you if you wanna go with me and see a movie. First you say no, you got your plans for tonight, but then you stop and say, alright, love is kinda crazy with a spooky little girl like you.
Today, we are doing our Halloween episode. Halloween should be a day from the posting of this episode. And, we didn't get a chance to do a Halloween episode last year because our first episode didn't come out till November, even though we were recording around Halloween of last year. And so similar to our Christmas episode, we're going to talk about some of our favorite Halloween music. And we're going to talk about, maybe we'll talk about like our favorite costumes we worn or our favorite scary movies, things like that. So, Tony, where does Halloween, like as a holiday, rank for you? Because I still think for me, Christmas is my favorite, but I think Halloween's it's a close number two.
I mean, I know there's like a good amount of holidays, but I don't know. I don't really have like a long list of holidays that I am particularly fond or not fond of. But I guess I'd say Halloween's probably like top 3, probably alongside Christmas, and I don't know. It's all right with me. I'll leave it at that.
Are you just not you're not into the candy as much? You're not a sweet tooth person?
Not so much anymore. I mean, here's the thing. I like the idea of Halloween a lot, but like as far as how involved I actually get, I don't really get that involved. I think that's where my yeah, that's where I lie.
But it's so fun. I think it's fun as a kid, obviously, because you dress up and you go trick or treating and you get free candy. Like that's awesome.
Right.
But I don't know, even like as an adult, it's like fun for me to for us to like decorate the house. And I like passing out candy as, now that I'm
Old.
no, I'm not, but it's fun to like being able to give, candy out, and you're making, kids' nights by, especially like if you go the extra mile and you're like dressed out, you're dressed up in a costume, passing out candy. Your house is like, decorated to the max and stuff. So, I think it's one of those holidays. If you like go all out, it's really fun. And then if you don't, it's still, I think, I still think it's a fun holiday. And maybe that's just because, growing up, our dad, he always used to decorate. I don't know if he does as much anymore, but it was fun setting up like the graveyard and all the decorations inside his little village.
Yeah, I think he's actually doing some of that as we speak.
Oh yeah.
He hasn't set up anything yet. Um, I will say I do I like skeletons and ghosts and bats. Like I think those things are cute and they look cool. So I do kind of like those. I like the Halloween as an excuse to decorate with those things.
And
Not that anyone should tell me how I should decorate, but
and the interesting thing is when it comes to music, since, at the end of the day, we are a music podcast, there isn't like with Christmas, there are Christmas songs that are specifically written about for Christmas, right?
right.
And there's like traditional ones, there's, classics from, pretty much any decade. And then, people, famous musicians today are still putting out Christmas albums, months in advance, in front of December. So, but with Halloween, I feel like there are some Halloween songs that are like specifically about Halloween. But then I feel like when I make a playlist for when we decorate or whatever, or just on Halloween to listen to, half of it is music that I just associate with Halloween, or not as I always do, but I can associate with Halloween because it has maybe spooky elements when it comes to the music or the lyrics or the performance of it.
Right. It's definitely more of a gray area than Christmas songs. Like I feel like there's plenty of Halloween songs that you can listen to out of season without looking silly,
Yeah,
without being judged.
To me, the only one, like, to me, the pinnacle of Halloween songs, and you can, let me know if you agree or disagree, is the Monster Mash. I think that song is, and I think it was originally done by Bobby Boris Pickett, right?
That sounds right. That sounds like an old enough.
And then I
name.
think like his band is the Crypt Kickers, which he mentions in the song. But like
the
the Monster,
Kickers 5.
yeah, I mean no, you're thinking of Ben's Fools 5.
Right.
The Monster Mash is like, yeah, that's like the song. That's like the All I Want for Christmas Is You of Halloween. Like, and I'm sure it's been redone a bunch, but I think the original version is the one to go with. I don't know. I actually don't even know of like a more of like a famous version, but like that song, if you listen to it outside of Halloween, like All I Want for Christmas Is You, outside of Christmas, you'll get some looks. But other than that song, everything else on my playlist is either songs that are just off normal albums, or like the one thing I'll say really quick is Christmas. Like I said, there's whole Christmas albums, there's compilation albums, right? But then there's also like a band will just do a whole album just a Christmas song. Halloween, there isn't that, unless you're one of those like kind of heavy metal bands that almost any album you release is kind of Halloween themed. But like growing up, we had compilation CDs for like parties, and you would have some like upbeat songs that maybe weren't super specifically about Halloween, like a Thriller or whatever. And then you would have like the Halloween kind of more themed ones like Monster Mash and some of these other ones we're going to get to. So I kind of think that's the difference, is like there's not like full albums of only Halloween related songs.
All right, we got to take a step back though, because my blood's boiling already, and we're 5 minutes in. So in Monster Mash, they say the Coffin Bangers were about to arrive with their vocal group, the Crypt Kicker 5, which when the Beach Boys cover it, they say the Beach Boys 5, just so you know. So I'm not wrong in this case. But I would actually argue, I don't know if I would say Monster Mash is the height of Halloween songs. Because first off, the actual Monster Mash song is only like referenced. They don't actually play the Monster Mash. This song is not the Monster Mash, it's about playing the Monster Mash, right?
Yeah, technically, yes.
So I feel like if it was actually the Monster Mash they're hyping up, it would be maybe the ultimate Halloween song. But if I had to say what the ultimate Halloween song is, I'm gonna go with. I mean, I feel like something like Thriller probably would be a good choice, but I'm gonna say Ghostbusters. Screw it. Ghostbusters is awesome.
Yeah,
and it's a Halloween movie.
That's definitely up there. That's definitely on my playlist.
You hear it in stores still, so it's big enough. It still sounds good this day.
The only reason I don't put it as high as Monster Mash, and I guess I don't know the origin of Monster Mash, so I don't actually know like what it was written for. But like Ghostbusters, written by Ray Parker Jr., was like written specifically for that movie, Yeah. So I feel like, and don't get me wrong, and we might get to movies a little bit later, but like there are movie soundtracks, like John Carpenter, his the Halloween theme music with the piano.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Like that's classic. That you put on the playlist, even though it's not. It is more like a soundtrack kind of song, and there's no lyrics, obviously, whatever. It's like very vibey and it's very kind of creepy, and there's a lot of tension in it.
Or you can even see something like Tubular Bells.
Is that the Exorcist one?
Yeah.
That's another soundtrack
kind of
one where
score
it's-
sounding thing.
Yeah, and then
But
like
one
and
that
then
holds up well.
yeah, and then there's the kind of the and then there's TV show soundtracks, which are basically the same thing, where it's like X-Files. That's, again, has spooky, kind of mysterious tension to it.
Adam's Family.
Adam's Family, yep, that was the other one I was gonna say. That one is just fun.
Yeah, Adam's Family to me is like the same as like the Pink Panther theme. You can't not like it.
Yeah. So, but no, I agree with you that like Ghostbusters is an essential one. Thriller, I think, was essential. Now I'm still a little weirded out listening to Michael Jackson, like, too much. So, but like, yeah, Thriller, especially like the music video, like that's almost one where it's like watching it with the music video. That's the essential part to it.
Yeah, that is pretty much the truth.
Plus, like Thriller, it's the title track of his album that features normal songs that aren't like Halloween themed. So that's one of those weird ones where it's like, and another one I'm gonna throw out there, because I think at this point we're just throwing them all out, is Werewolves of London, Warren Zevon. The only thing that makes it not as weird is that like that song is from his album Excitable Boy, which is probably his most well-known album. It has his most standout singles. Now the title track on that album also is kind of like a scary creep. It's more like disturbing than creepy. It's about this like this guy who like I basically goes insane and like kills someone and starts like cannibalizing them, like eating them and stuff. But just like Werewolves of London, it's done with like humor and over the top like wittiness that it's like it's I don't know, like it's fun. It's not actually like creepy or scary unless you just read the lyrics on their own.
Even the lyric, you're making this song sound like it's like a whole.
No, I'm talking about Excitable Boy, not Werewolves of London. Werewolves of London is.
Oh, were you
just more
really?
fun. Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You're right.
No, yeah. Werewolves of London is just that was just goofy. But I love. I mean, for the longest time, because it was on one of those CDs our parents owned that was a compilation. Those are all done by other people, like studio musicians, because they don't have the rights to actually put the original song. So I never heard the Warren Zevon version for the longest time until I probably started using Spotify and made my own playlist. And then when you search it on Spotify, it pulls up the real version, the Warren Zevon one. And then I was like, oh. And then I'm like, oh, that wasn't his stick. Like he didn't write. Like his stick is like he does write he writes song with a lot of humor. But I'm like, oh, he does just normal music, not like Halloween comedy music.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of crazy sometimes though. Like you may listen to someone or not even actually that real artist on a compilation, and then years later you're listening to them. It's kind of funny how things like that work. But
so yeah, I mean, I think Monster Mash to me that's like the essential one. You think Ghostbusters, and I think we both agree that both songs are essential. There's probably a couple other ones. I would say another essential one is I Put a Spell on You.
Yep.
But
that's
to
a
me,
good pick
there's
there.
one definitive version. Some people are going to say, oh, it's the Hocus Pocus one with Bette Midler singing it. You know that scene where they sing it at the gymnasium at the party?
Okay, it was on mute last night at a party I went to, but I can't think of how it goes top of my head. But I'll imagine it though.
It's like totally like it's like it couldn't be more different than the
other versions.
The version that I think is the definitive version, which is done by Screamin' Jay Hawkins. His voice is so like fitting for this style of song. It's so like deep, and he puts so much enthusiasm into that performance of that song. It's fantastic. I've always loved that version. Like that version to me has always been fantastic.
And it has like that really farty horn too, which just I don't know. There's mojo to this one, you know?
Yeah, because it's definitely like it's like the even the like rhythm, the dun 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 dun, you know,
right?
it's fun, but then it has the elements of like, ooh, this is, like it's fun, but then it's like also like a little unhinged, but like in a good way. So
And-
that's an essential one for me.
My favorite part is where he's going so ham, screaming and like laughing maniacally that he just starts coughing at the end.
Oh yeah,
That is
outro.
by far the best part. Yeah.
And then he does like a at the end, kind of like in Crash Bandicoot. or
I mean, I would not have said Crash, but
what's his face? The old guy in Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Eustace.
Yeah. Doesn't he do like a noise like that?
Oh,
When he's
you're making me
scared,
look
Courage?
back. Whoa. Yeah, he
Yeah,
does
yeah.
this. Do you like the CCR version though?
I haven't heard it recently. I know I've heard it before, but I'd have to listen to it again to like. Is it like kind of faster?
Yeah, it's a little faster. I think it's a pretty good take, honestly. It sounds more like a normal song though.
Speaking of them, you could, I guess, Bad Moon Rising. You can put on a kind of Halloween playlist. There's like ones where it's like with the moon. Like I know what's the Ozzy song, Howling at the Moon.
Bark at the Moon.
Bark at the Moon. Yeah.
Yeah, and like that video, he like turns into a werewolf too. That
Yeah.
one's sick.
I can't say Ozzy is my favorite artist, so I don't have it on my playlist, but I could definitely see someone putting it on their playlist.
I used to cover that one with my band. That was a fun one. And what was I gonna say? I don't know. I guess there's just certain like kind of like artists that you just kind of associate with spooky things. So like Ozzy, I feel like is someone where you could probably pick multiple songs and put them on a playlist. Like I wouldn't be surprised if I heard Crazy Train on a playlist, even though there's nothing really to connect that to Halloween.
I agree.
Trying to think like who else would you say could fall in that category? I mean,
For
'cause you
me,
could,
it's Queens of the Stone Age.
right for
Half
a rock
of their
one.
discography. Like to me, there's almost 3 albums that I would associate with Halloween. One of them I listened to today, which is Era Vulgaris.
Okay.
That like almost every song just has such a dark, sinister tone. And
In the most bright delivery possible.
but not even all of them though. Like 666, like that one is just so like there's nothing about it that's Halloween except like I know the music video is kind of like it's shot in kind of like a disgusting way, but like it's just so like dark and muddy and it's just and then even the songs I don't like the couple songs on the album I don't love the riffs are just like dark and heavy. And funny enough, a couple hours ago before we started filming this episode, I was finishing up reading one of my favorite authors, Stephen King, his book Pet Cemetery, which I never read before. I'm still going through like his body of work, and there's some of his big ones I've never
Did you
read.
see the movie though?
No, I haven't seen the movie because I wanted to wait till after I read the book. So
That's
I know
convenient.
are you talking about the original one?
Is there an original movie?
Yeah, because I think there's an original, there was a remake, maybe like in 2009, and then now there's a TV show, I think,
Whoa, what?
like on Hulu or something. Yeah, like an original TV show. So
Well,
I haven't
I've seen
any
none of
them.
those. I was talking about like the 2019 one.
Or maybe 2019. I think I said 2009. Maybe I meant
Well,
2019.
there's
yeah.
a 1989,
Yeah, that's
a
like the original.
2019, a Pet Cemetery 2 from 92, and then
Probably that one I was about. And then
Pet
the
Cemetery
TV show.
Bloodlines 2023.
Yeah, that's the TV show. I haven't seen any of them, but the book was fantastic. I just finished it today. It's probably actually in my top 3 of his. Like it was great. And I was of course reading it for the Halloween season. I also
Nice.
read Carrie earlier this year. Again, haven't seen the
Oh.
movie, but
Yeah, I need to see that movie still.
that one I didn't like as much, at least not the book. But I love Pet Cemetery, and I decided to spin Era Vulgaris, the Queens of the Stone Age album, as I was reading because I love to spin music and read. And I kid you not, I'm reading a line that says something about like blood boiling in battery acid right as battery acid started playing the song. No joke. Which Battery
Okay.
Acid is one of those songs where it's like so heavy, and I think it's like what in drop. Is it like drop C or something?
No.
So at least drop D. It's in drop something. I know it's not a standard tuning.
Are you sure?
I
I mean, it's probably like.
I'd be
drop D or
surprised.
something. Well, I know with that album, I think they started doing a lot of standard tuning, but some of those songs are in C standard. Like I know "Sick Sick Sick" is.
So maybe that one is in C standard.
So it might just be C standard. I don't think they do a lot of drop tuning, so it's
Yeah.
probably C.
And then to me, Lullabies, the album that came before it, is also very Halloween. You have, which I don't even know if I have this song on my playlist. I'm gonna actually put it on right now that I'm thinking about it. Burn the Witch. I mean, Witch, like of course Halloween. Someone in the Wolf just kind of has a chaotic sound, and wolves again kind of remind me of werewolves.
I mean, and the album cover has like a girl holding what, from a quick first glance, could be seen as probably a jack-o'-lantern.
Is it a candle? I actually,
I
have
see.
the album
I see
cover.
exactly. As far as I'm concerned, she might as well be holding a pumpkin with a light inside.
And then I think some of like Clockwork 2 is kind of spooky. Like
Now
Keep
you're
Your
just
Eyes
reaching.
Peeled.
I
No,
mean,
Keep Your Eyes
yeah,
Peeled.
it's spooky, but
At least that song. Maybe If I Had a Tail too, because he's like, I don't know. If I Had a Tail kind of has like demonic vibes to me for some reason, but like in a fun way.
I would say
So-
what are you talking about?
I don't know. I just always like, well, because especially too in the following album, Villains, there's the artwork of like a devil, like the devil on the artwork, and he has like a tail. And that's the tail I
That's
imagine Josh
true.
Homme having when he sings If I Had a Tail, I'd Swat the Flies. And then on that same album, Villains, you have the song Head Like a Haunted House, which musically is great for like a party playlist for Halloween. Lyrically, the haunted house lyric is just like one of the lyrics. It's the whole song isn't like about haunted houses, but it's one of those like rockabilly kind of style songs.
Is that one of the? Is that the Ginger Elvis one, right?
Yeah. So,
Well, okay, so I think your overall point here is that Queens of the Stone Age does a great job of making modern songs that hit hard and that are spooky. Where someone like Ozzy, who, I mean, isn't he considered the Prince of Darkness? You could say the same about him. He's just not quite as modern, and metal isn't quite, that type of metal isn't very booming, But yeah, I do think Queens of the Stone Age is a good pick for a Halloween band, I guess.
and then like there's some. Then I would say like there's just songs, like one-off songs from bands where I wouldn't say the majority of their music is spooky or Halloween vibe, but like, for example, an album and song we just talked about a couple episodes ago, the Alter Bridge song "Ghost of Days Gone By." Sure,
Don't even freaking
No,
tell me.
the
Don't
verse,
even.
yes, I get the verse is very kind of more upbeat, major key sounding. But you remember the bridge where he's like haunt you till the end, and then he's like, I don't want to die, and it gets really dark, and then he screams. I get it. It's followed up with like a major key like solo from Mark Tremonti, but like that song I still put on my playlist because you still want the playlist too to also like flow nicely, from one song to another, and that one is more upbeat, so
I think that's really a reach at this point. Because come on, why would you actually put? There's plenty of songs with like a heavy bridge. I mean, you can't just put a song on, and just because it says
but it
ghost in
it sounds like a spooky, scary bridge, and not just heavy. That wasn't my only.
I think there's way more songs that have spookier moments. Like, okay, Bad Guy sounds spookier than that song, but would you put Bad Guy on a Halloween playlist?
That guy
Because
absolutely does not sound spooky
The
whatsoever. That sounds like the fucking theme song of fucking Crash Bandicoot. What are you talking about?
that's fun. I was
You
gonna
know
say
exactly what I'm talking about.
I was gonna say Wizards of Waverly Place.
Okay, that doesn't help.
Yes, it does. Wizards of Waverly Place is literally a show about like witches or magic. No, wizards.
But it's not.
It's in the
not-
title.
It's not scary. I
Well,
would.
no, it's not scary.
I
but
would
it's
watch
spooky.
Halloween Town over Wizards of Waverly Place any day.
but that's not the point though.
Give me Twitches over that.
I don't even know what that is, but I can guarantee you.
The girls from Sister Sister.
Oh,
Remember that show?
Yeah, yeah.
They
yeah.
did a movie where they're twins and they're witches, which is why it's called Twitches.
Oh, that's right. That makes sense. That makes sense.
I'm just saying, like,
Speaking of
Ghost.
that,
If Ghost wasn't in the title, then maybe I'm reaching. But with Ghost and that spooky, dark sounding bridge, I think it gets a pass.
this is the most BS conversation we've had on this podcast for a while. I'm really in shock right now.
Because okay, then tell me this. Because there's 2 songs on my playlist that are literally just called Halloween. A song by Phoebe Bridgers, which we've talked about before on the podcast when I gave you her album Punisher, and the song you just discovered because I just told you about it. Brendan Benson last year released a song called Halloween. Musically, neither song sounds like Halloween. Like, they're just like pretty, by basic, I mean just like a, standard song. The Brendan Benson one sounds like, like Birds inspired music, the band Birds. And then, Phoebe Bridgers is just this kind of quiet, like, it's not even like a somber song like some of her others. It's just kind of quiet and chill. But they're called Halloween, and they mention Halloween things during the song, but musically they don't sound at all like Halloween. So to you, do those go on a Halloween playlist?
So I could see Halloween, the Phoebe Bridgers one. I could see that one going on a Halloween playlist because it is a different vibe than the other ones, but it's like that acoustic, ominous, slow setting. And it does talk about Halloween. Maybe it's Halloween and we can be anything. They're talking about being at a hospital with sirens, people dying. Like, these are all things that could, point in that type of direction. I'm not too familiar with the Benson one because you had just told me right before we started.
And
this.
I've only heard it once or twice, but he's singing just about like Halloween things, like pumpkins but like musically, it's like, like a G, D, C chord song.
That's a tough one. I think it depends with the context of your other songs. Because I think it could work. I think it could.
Well, now I kind of want to just play this game with you where it's like, because it seems like I have more of a playlist than you do. Like, I actually go out of my way every year to make a playlist or just add songs to an existing playlist. So now I'm curious if you find my playlist, like, if you find it to be suitable or if you find it to be like an abomination.
Well, so far it's leaning towards abomination.
So hold on, I'll just start from the beginning, and I will say they aren't. I did mix them. Like, I did go ahead and like put them in an order.
Order them.
I did order them just so that, like, if I have multiple songs from an artist, that they're not like being played back to back. So okay, my first one is Monster Mash because you got to start it off with the most Halloween song. Plus, it starts off with like the kind of cauldron sound, and like the sound of like the what do you call it?
The pot
casket, the pot bubbling, and like the shackles. Like good sound effects started off. Then I go Werewolves of London, Warren Zevon. Then I
very
do go
wholesome start.
Then I do go Halloween, Phoebe Bridgers. Then I go Ghost of Days Gone By, Alter Bridge. Then I Put a Spell on You. Then just for this sake, just because I forgot it existed, I put the Benson song in there after. Okay. Then we go to a song that really has nothing to do with Halloween except for the title. But musically, the song is dark enough that I'm like, it passes the fall vibes. I throw on Pearl Jam's Ghost.
See, once again, you're just picking songs that have a word in it that is associated with Halloween. So, okay, hear me out. So that band Ghost, are you going to put every one of their songs on the playlist because they're a heavy band?
No, because they have stupid songs like that TikTok one, that went viral, the Bloody Mary one. I don't know if you know that
I
one.
could not even tell you that.
But no, because I think I love Ghost. I think it's my top probably 3 on Riot Act from Pearl Jam. It's one of their most underrated songs.
That's a bit far.
And it's got a good driving, but like dark beat to it. Like, it's, it's, I don't know. It's just, it's some of the lyrics too are just like very, you know, not menacing. Like it's not as menacing as like the bridge in Ghost of Days Gone By, but it's. I understand. This one is, I think, probably the most stretched out of the ones on my playlist, but it's at least it's like a hard hitting song. Like
it's not like it's not an offensive choice. Like I think it really would it would fit the playlist, but there's nothing. Okay, it would fit the playlist, but there's nothing about it that should make you go pick it out for the playlist. Right. Like I'll tell you what. It's like the perfect type of song that like you'll like listen to your playlist and then you would hear Ghost start playing and you'd be like, is this my like songs playing now? Right? Like it's
only you would do
smooth
that because
eating.
only you actually use the like feature on Spotify.
Everyone uses the liked features.
I do not.
I didn't know you were everyone.
I'm everyone. Then after Ghost, I have the song Haunted House, which tell me again who does the original, because I think the one on my playlist is not the original.
I think his name is like literally Jumpin' Gene Simmons.
Yeah. It's a fun little song.
But it's not actually Gene Simmons. No
I would
confusion.
look it up if you've never heard of it. It's like, it's a song about someone that buys a house that ends up being haunted. It's a very tongue-in-cheek song. It's very funny. It's like a Werewolves in London type song. Like, and it's like got that old kind of sound to it, like it's from like the 50s.
Right.
So that's a fun one, but it's like
That's
it's
one
about
of
a
my
haunted
favorites.
house. But like musically, it does not fit with like a song like the Queens of the Stone Age ones that we're gonna get to on the playlist. Like it's not
No,
dark
it's more
and
like
heavy.
It's more like Monster Mash as far as heaviness goes.
Because I follow it with Queens of the Stone Age, Vampire Time and Memory. Because vampire. But it's also like a darker song.
Okay, so I have some issues here, okay? So once again, that's just another dark song. Like, okay, for your Halloween playlist, you can have dark songs, but do you want actually like sad songs?
Well,
Because
Just to
Vampire Time and
clarify,
Mary
my
is an
playlist-
objectively sad song.
my playlist is, especially this version of the playlist, is just for me to listen to. When
Then
I'm at
why am I
work-
ranking? Why am I critiquing it?
Well, because it's not because I don't have parties, nor do I go to parties, so my playlist will never be for parties. But I would put this on like at home when Lindsay and I are like decorating.
This seems a little heavy for decorating, you know? Not musically heavy, but
Yeah, but we're not always listening to the words to every word, you know. If it's
so now you're not
background-
gonna listen to the words.
Well, not all of them, but like
Okay.
Vampire Time and Memory, like obviously and especially when you look at the album cover, where it looks like a vampire or someone that like would be dressed up like a vampire. Well, actually, it's not a vampire. It's someone like wearing like a skull mask. But I don't know. It just gives me fall vibes. And he's singing about vampire. It's the only song on my playlist that I think has a vampire in it.
My patience has gone thin.
Then the next one, we go fun, and we go with the Purple People Eater by, I think the original artist is Sheb Woolley. That's just a
Who?
fun song. Sheb Woolley. That's the version that I have on my playlist. I think that might be the original one. I don't know if it's like a one-hit wonder or what. That one's just fun, but it's one of the only ones on the playlist that's about aliens, which I know aliens aren't necessarily like Halloween themed, but like people dress up as aliens for costumes, you know. I never did, but like, you know, it's spooky. It's the unknown, you know, like. So
You make a good point. There's not as many alien songs as some other ones. That I wonder why. Maybe they suck.
But you know, there's
I mean,
like
Purple People Eater doesn't suck, but it's definitely kind of bottom of the barrel.
Oh no, I love. It's just a fun song. Like it's so fun that it's a little dumb, but like that would be one where like if you're at a party, like there's no objections because it's fun and it's got a danceable rhythm to it, or whatever.
Okay, you know what I would take over it though?
What?
Beware of the blood.
I know you were gonna say that,
Yeah.
which I don't have that one on my playlist for some reason.
What
I
the
think
hell, man?
I just forgot about it. I think it's on another playlist, but
Oh, okay,
I've had
fine.
it on past playlists. I just think I forgot it this year, but I will add it.
Wait, are you sure you don't have the Kids Bop version of Purple People Eater on your playlist?
No.
Okay.
So then after Purple People Eater, we
How
go
many times
with-
do you say that in your daily life?
we're doing one that I know you're also going to object to. But now we're getting to the playlist, the part of the playlist where these are songs that I almost would only listen to during Halloween because they're not good songs on their own.
Damn.
And that's with Pearl Jam's Bugs.
Okay, see, that one I think is fine because it's literally like a story about bugs. And bugs are like a Halloween thing, right? Like spiders and insert whatever type of bug scares you.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily about like that one's more, I don't know, Bugs.
Is Purple Eater
Vitology
People
has
about
so many
Halloween?
filler songs.
No, it's about an alien. Is Bugs from Pearl Jam about Halloween? No, but it's about bugs.
But it's
And
also
it's
an
done in
annoying,
like
it's an annoying song. Like it's him.
Purple
it's Eddie
People
Vedder.
Eater is.
No,
it has
it's-
the voice thing, the high pitched squeaky voice.
Yeah, because it's a Purple People Eater. It's an alien. It doesn't have a human voice. But Bugs is annoying because it's Eddie Vedder and an accordion.
What's wrong with that? What is wrong with that?
Do I need to explain what's wrong with that?
You know who else uses an accordion? Weird Al, and he's
And
a
that
legend.
fits his style. That fits his style.
Okay, Weird Al is a man of many styles.
But-
if you have not,
I also think Bugs is Halloween because the first time they played it live, and one of the only times they played it live, was on Halloween when they played in Philadelphia, I think at the Spectrum. They did like 4 nights leading up to Halloween, and that was the
Jesus.
last night. And that was the same night on Halloween where they dressed up as Devo and played Whip It. But I don't put Whip It on the playlist because Whip It on its own is not a Halloween song.
yeah, I will say that little factoid there does actually make this a much better candidate for Halloween song.
Okay, and the next one is sort of like Thriller in the sense where the song is, well, Thriller's more Halloween than the song like lyrically, but like it's kind of one of those songs where the visuals help it. I have Bones by the Killers, which if you've seen the music video, it's directed by Tim Burton, who was like kind of the
Oh, is it
king-
actually?
Yeah, the king
know
of
that.
like that genre of not even like scary Hall like spooky stuff, but like, you know, why can't I think of any Tim Burton films right now? Like, he didn't technically direct Nightmare Before Christmas, but like he helped with it.
Okay.
And then on the music video, it's like people like on a beach because that's part of the lyrics, and they start like.
There's nothing in the lyrics about a beach, but I know what you mean.
Are you sure?
They don't say beach in there anytime.
Are you looking at the lyrics right now?
No, but I listened to that song.
No, look up the lyrics. If there's a mention of a beach, I should.
There's
win some-
in Bones by Killers.
yeah.
Oh, Down to the Ocean.
Okay.
It's only
Well,
water
so
and
it's
sand.
implying
Okay.
a beach.
Okay, you're
Because
right.
That's
I'm
what they do in the
sorry.
music video, and then like they start turning into skeletons. It's like their skin starts going away, and it's just the bones, which is
I
like,
apologize.
don't you want to feel your bones on my bones? You know. So, but this
Yeah,
is like
this is a great pick.
it's fun because like it's an upbeat song. It's got the horns, which like elevates the song, and it's like it's a fun song, but isn't too simple. Like it has a really great chord progression. If we're talking about just like the music of it, and it's one of those songs where like if you know the music video, your mind just goes to like Halloween themed things with the skeletons. But on its own, it's not very spooky or Halloween.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think this is actually a great example of a song that works like flawlessly for Halloween, but you don't really question it when it's not Halloween. You know, like I think it just happens to really capture both those characters pretty well. And by the way, when we're done with the list, I do have a list of songs that I'm going to ask you about as well.
Oh yeah.
So don't worry. I'll get what's coming.
The next song is not one you know, so we won't linger on it too much. There's one called Cemetery Side Road by The Hip. It's off their first EP, the first like release, meaning it's very like goofy because almost all the songs on that first EP are like goofy just because like they don't have their sound yet. Like the mastering and mixing on it is not great. It was released in I think '89, so it's like it just sounds outdated. But I only put it on because, well, it's about like driving past like a cemetery, and I was reading Pet Cemetery over this last like week or so, so like it fit the vibe. Then I have the Ghostbusters theme, which we already talked about, classic. Burn the Witch, Queens of the Stone Age, which that one I actually think you're talking about witches, like that's very Halloween.
Yeah, no, that one 100%. Yeah, that's a Halloween song as far as.
And it's kind of like it's a mixture of like a nice fun kind of sound, like just the riff and the la la la. But the intro's kind of spooky, isn't it?
Yeah, they got like the grunts in it, kind of. Yeah, no, it's a really cool one. Like this one also, much like the Killers one, it works really well. Like if you were to like play it to like a group of people at a party, like it sounds good. It's like family friendly enough, but it's tough enough,
Yeah. Then I have one it's weird. It's not one it's a new song. It only came out like a couple weeks ago, and maybe that's probably why I put it on the playlist. But Sleater-Kinney has a new album coming out next year. Really? And to be honest, I have not listened to any albums past No Cities to Love, because I know they did that one with St. Vincent producing it, and that was the last one with Janet.
Who is St. Vincent?
She's a musician, solo artist.
Oh, she's a musician.
And people did not like the album. They didn't like her production. And I think the kind of more poppy new wave sound they went to on that album caused Janet to leave the band, their drummer, Janet Wise.
So which album is this? Is this like the something about hold piece?
No. So the one with St. Vincent, I think, is called The Center Won't Hold.
Yeah,
and then Janet leaves after that, and then they have one called like Path to Wellness or something.
Path of Wellness. It looks.
Yeah,
like.
And that one I didn't even listen to the singles just because I was like, oh, Janet's out of the band, it's not as good. But then they announced a new album that's coming out next year, and the lead single is called Hell, and I was like, oh, okay, they're releasing a song called Hell in October. This could be good. And I listened to it, and again, it's not super spooky, but it's dark, and I just felt like the playlist needed, like some different kind of sound, so I added it on. It's not one that I would recommend people put on their playlist, but it's a good song, and maybe next year on the podcast maybe this will be one of the albums Tony and I will listen to and review. But
I'm listening to it right now, and I think this actually is a pretty good pick.
Yeah,
because it's got that production that works well, like the kind of in the distant, kind of the like that real like spaghetti western sound at the start, and then it gets really explosive.
But it still has like a dark
works good.
undertone, yeah. Then I have a song that I know you mentioned not loving. We talked about it, I think maybe off the podcast once.
Off the pod.
It's a Coldplay song called Cemeteries of London.
It's all right. It's just kind of like,
but it's a kind of darker sound, and he's singing about ghosts in the cemeteries in London. So it fits the vibe. And it's kind of a different sound again for the playlist. It's I know you refer to it as like a sea shanty. I don't necessarily agree, even though it has a similar kind of rhythm. But like, yeah, I think it has a cool kind of dark under. It starts off with like just his vocals, and I think is it piano, and then like the full band kicks in, and it's got a good driving beat to it. So,
well, yeah, I can definitely see it, and it sounds more like kind of soundtracky, which I think is a good style for like Halloween music.
And speaking of,
I would probably put Violet Hill instead for my own personal enjoyment from the same album.
It has a similar like darker sound to it. That's not a bad pick. I think of that one more is about like I get like British British Revolution vibes from it, like war. Maybe that's because the music video.
Maybe it's because the album cover.
Well, yeah, on the album cover, but
I will say I think this is one where like that main hook line, "If you love me, won't you let me go?" Like that works really well for the Halloween theme.
Oh, in Violet Hill, you mean?
Yeah.
And by the way, it's because you mentioned soundtrack. I on this playlist, it's more songs, because like even though Ghostbusters is like soundtrack, it's like a song. I'm not putting like on this playlist the X-Files theme or the short, like Addams Family theme or whatever. But like those,
The
I
Harry
would
Potter ones.
yeah, Harry Potter, or like the soundtrack from A Nightmare Before Christmas. Or we're especially not going to mention too much of that right now because the guy who created all that music, Danny Elfman, is kind of being tracked through the mud right now in the news. Yeah.
I'm gonna ask Google about that later.
But those type of soundtracks I definitely would include. And then so those aren't on this playlist. Next song on my playlist though is a song that you have some history with, and that is the White Stripes song "Little Ghost."
Jesus Christ! Just put Seven Nation Army. Just get it over with.
No, Little Ghost is like a fun little like kind of country folk song, but it's just a fun song. And yeah, it's a pick that's not supposed to be taken too seriously. It's not an essential one, but I just put it on because I just wanted variety.
I'm gonna be honest. I think this is actually, out of all the songs that you've picked that have Ghost in it, I think this one is the best because it's very, very upfront. Like the whole tag is little ghost, what I'm scared of most. Like that is a very heavy emphasis on a ghost. And because like you said, it's like a fun little fast, acoustic country-ish type song. Like it's a good party campfire-y type song. So this one honestly does get a pass. It's just kind of annoying.
Then I have Head Like a Haunted House, Queens of the Stone Age, we already talked about.
It is party, so.
Then I have Pearl Jam's Dirty Frank.
Which, let's be real. That's basically Werewolves of London.
No.
It's kind of like a rock. Dirty Frank is a rock song, but it's like a rock song that has comical lyrics that are like kind of scary, but they're like so like you said like tongue in cheek and stuff. But it's the same premise. Come on.
Dirty Frank, first of all, was inspired by the Red Hot Chili Peppers when they were on that tour with them in the 90s. So that's why Dirty Frank has a slight little funk groove to it. If we're talking about Pearl Jam songs, it's definitely one of their funkiest, but in terms of like funk music in general, it's not that funky.
Right. Well said.
And it is comical, but it's definitely inspired by Jeffrey Dahmer, the real life serial killer, cannibal. And it's written as a story of like their tour bus, their bus driver, being a cannibal and like starting to eat the band, which is why there's a lyric, "Oh my God, at Mike McCready, he's been ate."
That part is pretty funny.
But yeah, it's about like a serial killer, cannibal. So like it's definitely like dark and scary and spooky. But it's like you said, it's like Werewolves of London, where it's a fun song. It's supposed to be like comical,
So that's another good pick. So the back half of your list is looking pretty solid. Like I feel like it's a good mix of listenable songs, like that you could play out loud, and that's not too thematic.
And by the way, Dirty Frank, I'm going to be extra nerdy here. Let me push up my glasses. I'm going with the version that's on the B-side of Even Flow, which is the one that was recorded around 10. Where near the end of the song, it's got this like kind of extended outro bridge that's also kind of funky, where Eddie Vedder singing "Cook 'em" just to see the look on their face. I cook 'em just to see the look on their face.
Oh my gosh, like Freaky Styley.
Yeah, no, actually, now that you mentioned it, I forgot that's what it was inspired by. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, but that version, the only version of that song you hear the part in is either the 1990 or whatever 2 version. Or 1991 version of Dirty Frank on the Even Flow B-side, or live versions played around that same period, because they re-recorded the song for Lost Dogs and they took that whole part out. I don't know if they had to for like licensing for like Freaky Styley, but yeah, it's not included on the Lost Dogs version. So you got to go the Even Flow version.
I'm gonna check that out because I think I just had the Lost Dog version just because I was.
Oh yeah.
Whatever, but holy cow, they're not holding back with that wah.
Okay, well,
It's a little
I'll
bit
let
painful.
you check that out. We gotta stay focused.
Okay, stay focused. I'm sorry.
Next,
Okay.
we're going with a song we kind of talked about before we started the episode. Love Potion number 9. I think originally done by the Clovers. At least that's the version I have on my playlist. A song that's like about like a witch, someone that like makes a love potion for someone, and then it kind of backfires on them. I don't think it's the most Halloween song, but it's a very good song to put on your playlist at like a Halloween party. It's got that old school kind of like 50s vibe to it. And it's a good song in general, but I wouldn't say it's the most Halloween song.
See, I feel like this one is pretty Halloween because I mean the title of the song is called Love Potion number 9. Like, come on. Does that not sound like a Halloween song?
But potions, I think, are a small part of a bigger Halloween thing.
Okay. Hear me out though. If this was like maybe like a metal song or like a goth song or something, like maybe a potion isn't super Halloween related. But I mean, come on, this is like a song from like the 50s or whatever. About potions, you know, and it has a little bit of that. I mean, you know, it has that minor sound going on. I don't know. I will stand by it for being a pretty clear Halloween song. Not exclusively Halloween, but
Yeah. Then I have a song that I don't think you know, but it's a Radiohead song called Burn the Witch.
okay.
And it's Tom York's lyrics are never super straightforward, but the main like chorus hook of the song is him singing "Burn the Witch," we know where you live. Like it's got creepy vibes to it. The song's got it's really percussive. It has these strings like this. I don't know if it's like a quartet. Like they're doing the dun 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 dun. Like it's a very percussive, cool. It's a very cool sound. I think you would dig the production of it. And it's just kind of a moody kind of song, and it's cool. It's not one like a party like playlist song, but it fits the fall vibes, I think. Then I have another hip song from that same EP. It's called "I'm a Werewolf, Baby." It's basically their version of Werewolves of London. He sings about ripping out someone's heart,
Okay. That's a good start.
but it's a very funny tongue-in-cheek song like Werewolves of London. But it's anytime I can throw a hip on a playlist, I'm gonna do it. Then to round it out, I'm going with maybe my kind of favorite more classic Halloween song. I'm going Spooky, which I always forget who originally does Spooky. I want to say it's like the Atlanta. What is it?
No, that's the cover. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that's the cover?
was- Or wait. Let me
Because like the one on Spotify just says like classics.
Oh. Okay, wait. Okay. This may be a Google situation.
Classics IV, which is I'm so bad with
IV
Roman numerals.
It's 4,
Is that-
right?
I thought it was maybe it's 4. So maybe that's the band Classics 4. I don't know, but
Shapiro. Wait.
it's one of those songs that
Oh, it was
has a lot of
originally an
covers.
instrumental by saxophonist Mike Sharp,
Oh, okay, so that's the original.
and
writing of the
then
song.
James Cobb and producer Buddy Bew for the group Classics 4.
There we go. Okay, so that the one I have
okay.
is like kind of I guess the original.
Oh wait, so
version
that's
with
actually the
lyrics.
band name?
Yeah,
Oh, I
'Cause
see. I
it's
would have
on a-
thought
it's
that would have
on a
been like
best-
a cover band or something,
yeah.
like a band that does these compilations exclusively.
Spooky is a really cool song. I know maybe you could speak about the music of it more, but I know it has some like cool chord voicings.
Yeah.
You
It's
wanna talk
kind
about
of like it kind of reminds me almost of like something like Buffalo Springfield would kind of like hit you with low key. Like when you hear like the Atlanta rhythm section version, it's definitely like kind of more slick production, the more distorted guitars, which makes it like pretty cool. But it kind of has those slightly jazzier voicings. I mean, every jazz musician just cringed when I said that, but it's got 13th chord. That was actually one of the first times I actually played one of those in a song. So that's why I always hold the song close to me.
If you listen to the Classics 4 version, which again is I guess the like first version with lyrics, it sounds like a zombie song. Like, it sounds like
oh, time of the season.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't saying like specifically
Which that,
zombie song, but
Time of the Season would be a great
it's-
Halloween song too.
yeah, I could see it. I didn't put it on mine. I just, but yeah, but it sounds like something like the Zombies would have done, or on that album that you gave me for album. So yeah, it's a great song. They reference Halloween in the song. It has like, does it have a key change in the song?
It does. It does.
Which is always cool. And it's a laid back, like you said, kind of jazzy song, so it works like in the vibe of like a party or not, or what. It's a fun song. It's cool. I've always digged it. It was on one of those compilation CDs that our parents owned, and I like it. And then I round off my playlist in the most like weird non-party way. And it's really the only time of the year I ever listen to the song unless I'm listening to the full album. And even then, this is one of the rare instances where I would maybe just skip the song, which I almost never do when I listen to a full album. It is the song, Hey Foxy I haven't said the name in a long time. It's called, the short title is Stupid Mop by Pearl Jam. But the full title is Hey Foxy Mop Handle Mama, That's Me. Like almost one word. If you've never heard the song, if you're not a Pearl Jam fan, don't. And if you are a Pearl Jam fan, don't. It's the last song on their third studio album, Vitology, excuse me. And it is a almost 7.5-minute song with eerie guitar feedback, drums from Jack Irons, which was the first time he drummed with the band.
Oh, he was on Vitology to some extent?
only on that song. Yeah, like
Why?
he took that was around the time where like I can't remember, like I guess like Dave A finished drums on the album, but they were still working on the song, and I think Jack was around, and I think that was around the time like they knew they were gonna fire Dave because he just wasn't. He was kind of clashing with the band.
Okay.
So yeah, this was actually pre No Code, which was Jack Irons' first album with Pearl Jam, and the song is not even really a musical song. It's really these like clippings of audio from a mental institution with like people who have, schizophrenia and, things like that, mental health problems. And it's just the most bizarre, like, I don't, it's a song I don't even know how to describe it. I know you've heard it before, Tony, so like maybe you can help me, but it's just, and there's like rumors that like these came from an actual like movie or like documentary where they were interviewing real people in a mental institution. Then there's like rumors that like, no, it's like, it's all fake and whatnot. Either way, it's really off-putting.
By the way, I think it's just listed as Stupid Mop on.
No, it is on like Spotify, but
but okay, but on the
title,
actual,
like on the original album is. Yeah, it is. It's just like these people talking gibberish, but it's backed by really like off-putting music, like the guitar feedback noises during like the middle and end of the song. Jack's drums do kind of give it a song element. And like Jeff's bass work, like there is a groove near the end of the song, but for the like half the song, there's like no distinguishable groove or music, and it's meant to be just creepy and weird. And it's one of the reasons I don't like Vitology, because it's just one of the many songs on the album that are, to me, is just so filler. But because it's so creepy and off-putting and disturbing, it fits a Halloween playlist, at least a personal playlist. It doesn't. You do not put this on the party. You put this on at a party, it kills the mood. But this is the one time I think it's acceptable to listen to this song. Because to me, the album basically ends with Immortality, which is, again, a Pearl Jam song I don't even like, if I'm being honest. So Vitology is a low point in their career for me. But Stupid Mop ends my playlist.
I mean, it's 7 minutes of white noise. Well, really, it's probably what, like 3 minutes of white noise and then it's like 4 more minutes of white noise plus a drum beat and some bass. Yeah, I just don't think there's really enough. There's no substance to it. I don't think it really adds to a playlist. I mean, if there was some holiday to assign this song to, it would be Halloween. But I think the only playlist this really belongs in is the trash.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a song. It's. I don't classify
it's an
it as a
audio
song.
clip.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my playlist.
Well, I'm glad you put it at the end because that way you can just turn the playlist off if you can't take it.
Yeah, that one is just to challenge myself because really the playlist ends with spooky.
Nice. I like that. I like that thought. Challenge yourself.
But you said you had some songs because
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a ton of songs that are Halloween themed that we're not going to even bring up. But
Yeah, so let me just kind of spitball some fast ones here. In fact, I actually pulled up a playlist which actually kind of aligned with some of the ones that I've thought about before. So a lot of your songs that I had some issues with were ones that I don't think you could really say are close enough related to Halloween, but they may have something in the title in there that has some Halloween theme in it. So what do you think about these ones? Okay, Van Halen's Running with the Devil. It starts off kind of sinister. Bonk, bonk, and it's got the guitar noise. Yeah.
I would put it on a playlist because Devil's in it, kind of similar to like Vampire and Time of Memory, Queens of the Stone Age. And I'm not the biggest Van Halen fan, but that is actually, I think, one of the better Van Halen songs. So I give it a thumbs up. I give it a pass. It's good for a playlist because it's upbeat.
Okay, what about Highway to Hell? Or, let's just group it into two, or Hell's Bells. I've heard these
Hell's
two a
Bells
lot.
musically, again, AC/DC is not a band I really go out of my way to listen to. Hell's Bells musically is dark and has that kind of sinister sound. So musically, plus it being about
starts with a
hell,
bell.
it fits. And then Highway to Hell is definitely more of like an upbeat, fun song. Like Hell's Bells is actually like that's a song that like musically sounds like it should be about hell. But then Highway to Hell is like the fun, like if the devil was like, a DJ, that this would like be his song. So
That's hilarious.
I will approve both, even though I wouldn't put them on mine. I'll approve both.
Right. What about and I didn't even know who this was by until I actually saw it on the list. Somebody's Watching Me from Rockwell.
Yeah, I know that song. Yeah, that one.
I just didn't know.
I find the song to be kind of annoying, but I would put that song on a playlist. Yeah.
There's like this like little tight genre of like disco-y songs that fit Halloween really well, like Thriller, like Ghostbusters, like this one.
Yeah.
What about almost like I feel like you could put a number of Black Sabbath songs on there, but let's just say Iron Man because everyone knows that one. Would you put something like that on a playlist?
I would put.
I mean, it's a superhero and it's a mean riff.
I don't know. I feel like some of the other songs would be more fitting, like their self-titled song or.
Well, Black Sabbath, like Black Sabbath, only the heaviest song of all time.
Or I don't know. I feel like even like Paranoid would fit the playlist better, or War Pigs. I don't know. I definitely I could see someone who's into like a more old school rock or I guess heavy metal. Could see some Black Sabbath being on a playlist, but for some reason Iron Man's not the one I would put on.
I mean, the only reason I suggest it is because it starts off with like the whole like robot sounding thing as well.
Yeah, that's true.
It's the most cartoony. There we go. It has like that cartoon character that I think would make it work on a playlist well.
Yeah.
In a group sort of setting. So okay, one of the ones I saw that kind of took me off guard, but I think is a good one is Voodoo Child. How do you feel about that one? I kind of have mixed feelings about that.
Is that the one that Hulk Hogan used as his intro music?
Yes.
Then no.
What?
Nah.
But isn't it so awesome of a song that it kind of just overrides everything?
The voodoo part is even more of a stretch than Love Potion #9.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's not a good song or that it wouldn't fit like even a party playlist. But like for Halloween, I wouldn't put it on.
Okay, well, I have two that you will put on. One of them you're gonna be upset you didn't put a couple of these on. Okay.
And I might have just forgotten them. Yeah, this playlist was kind of created last minute in a way.
Don't Fear the Reaper.
Oh yeah, I've heard that song enough to where I just don't find as enjoyment listening to it. But yeah, Don't Fear the Reaper definitely is one that
Respect.
should be on a playlist.
Black Magic Woman.
Yeah.
What? Why not? It's
Well,
sick.
because Santana's also been problematic lately too.
Oh,
So
really?
I just wasn't gonna bring him up, but I can
Let
see
me
why
ask
someone would put
Google
it
about
on.
it. Witchy Woman.
Oh yeah, that one actually I will put on my playlist. That one has been on my past playlist. It slipped my mind this year, but yes,
Right.
Eagles. I already like the Eagles. You know, they're not like a top 20 band for me, but I enjoy a good amount of their music. And yeah, Witchy Woman is a classic. So yes, for sure.
One that I see like on like playlists and stuff is Zombie from the Cranberries, which I don't think I would put that one. I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of blast sounding.
it's not my favorite
So
song.
maybe
in
it's
general,
moody.
but and I know
I like the
yeah,
Miley Cyrus version more.
Yeah, I just don't like any version of that song, but I can see it being
Fair.
on a playlist, even though I don't think it has anything to do with like that. I think it has something to do with like war or something.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
think it's actually themed
So
appropriately.
it's not appropriate for like Halloween, but I could because it's called Zombie. I can see why.
Right. Oh, there's one that there's no reason for it not to be in your playlist. Psycho Killer.
Yep, that's another one I just slipped my mind. So yeah, that
Okay,
one I will
nice,
be adding.
nice.
Yeah, Psycho Talking Heads, of course. Yeah, any chance to put Talking Heads on a playlist, especially because their music is so good for a party. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some of the songs that I heard last night. I mean, the playlist I was on was a very shallow playlist, so there's only like a few songs. Oh, Super Freak was on there, and it was on another playlist that Mom was listening to today. Which I would put it on just because it's that good of a song.
It's like, yeah, it's great for a party, but I would never think of it as a Halloween party song.
I mean, someone could dress up as a freak for Halloween. Interpret that as you will. This one is actually blowing my mind that it's on a playlist. Hungry Like the Wolf.
Nope, wouldn't put it on. I don't like Duran Duran, but
I mean, it kind of falls in like that like disco sort of category.
it's
So
not
it-
scary enough. Just because it mentions a wolf doesn't mean it's.
So now that argument stands.
Because the wolf songs on my playlist are werewolves.
But Pearl Jam's Ghost and Ghost of Days Gone By don't make it inherently scary.
In my heart, yes.
But yeah, okay, I think that's pretty much all the songs I had and saw. I mean, here's one: Frankenstein from Steppenwolf, an instrumental.
I don't. I know the name of that song, but I don't know the song. But yeah, I mean, if it's, I mean, Frankenstein is a very Halloween thing, so yeah. But I don't know the song, so I can't vouch for it other than its title.
Nah, it's kind of like that. Like if Deep Purple had more wah and were more jam band. Yeah, so cool. Alice Cooper. He's an artist. I feel like there's a couple songs as well. Like him and Ozzy are like the two people I was thinking about for like you could put a lot of songs on theirs on playlists just because of who they are.
Or do you
how they
put like
present
Bad Out of
themselves.
Hell from Meatloaf because he's singing about hell
Okay.
and bats?
I mean, Bat Country, Avenged Sevenfold. That song's sick
Yeah.
though. Don't even say so.
R.I.P. Meatloaf, and
R.I.P.
also
the Rev.
R.I.P. R.I.P. Avenged Sevenfold's career. I do want to end the episode with maybe something a little non-music related. I want you to give me your favorite Halloween movie, and it could be just a horror scary film. It doesn't have to be Halloween related. You give me your favorite costume you dressed up as when you were a kid, when you went trick-or-treating, and then give me your favorite candy that you would love to receive if you went trick-or-treating.
Okay. I think probably. Okay, I'll say this. I'm gonna have to cheat a little bit for some of these. I think probably my favorite Halloween movie would probably be the first Saw movie. I only saw it once though, but it was awesome. And I
Oh,
remember being like, why have I not seen this? This is better than all the other horror movies.
Lindsay and I almost watched it last week because we've never seen it, or I've never seen it. I think she's seen it. Maybe
Watch
I
it.
can't remember.
I liked
but
it.
We'll try to squeeze it in the next couple of days.
And then but I would say an underrated one is Hellraiser. Hellraiser's sick. I mean, it's kind of bad, but that's what makes it sick. And then what did you say? Favorite thing I dressed up as? Probably just a pirate. Pirates are cool. Eye patches are fun. I mean, really, I'm just in it for the eye patch. And then, because I feel like skeleton costumes never look that good. Ghost costumes are kind of hard to also make look good. I don't even want to see what a bat costume looks like. Oh no, but we had that werewolf mask though. That was sick. Okay. Anyways, what candy I would like? I'm actually gonna cheat here again, and I'm going to say, you know that thing people do where it's like chocolate pudding with like Oreo, like the cookie crumbs in it.
Graveyard something.
Yeah, they put like gummy worms. Like I don't really
Yeah.
care about the gummy worms in it, but that stuff is delicious. So I would like that. But otherwise, I'm more of a chocolate guy, you know. But I mean, just give me the pudding. All right.
Okay.
What about you? What are your three?
For movies, I mean, I'm gonna stick with the classics. If we're going like, I don't know, even though I don't think it's like a cult classic. I mean, Hocus Pocus. Even though like, I've seen it hundreds of times. Like it's just a perfect fun movie to put on like on Halloween when you're passing out candy. It's classic. If we're going like more scary films, I think the first Halloween film was really good. Mike Myers. Like I think it's awesome.
I've seen it. I don't remember much.
It's
of
a
it,
little.
though.
It's like a little slow, but it's good. It's very
I've seen one of the
Halloween.
later ones, and
And then the best thing I dressed up as, which is music related, was when I went as Elvis. I had like it was like just like the top part of his head as a mask, where it was his hair and his forehead, and then sunglasses, sunglasses, and then the sideburns. So it was just like literally a top half of the mask. And then like we bought like his like Las Vegas white suit with like the embedded like jewels on it and stuff. That was, I think I went with a couple years because it was so good. So that was the best one. Plus, after you get your candy, you say thank you very much.
did you also get it with the girdle?
No. But it was funny when I would be sitting on the toilet in the costume. And then
what is Elvis's favorite Halloween candy?
I love candy, and I could make a whole podcast about candy. I'm more into the gum and candy. If we're going like chocolate, I mean, Kit Kat, M&Ms, and Reese's Cups are like the best. And then gummy, I really like chewy stuff. I love like Taff, so like Laffy Taffy, Dots, and then Airheads, Skittles, Starburst. I love it. The only Halloween candy I really don't like is like candy corn. It's very diversive.
Diversifying?
You know what I mean?
Dividing.
Candy corn is
Okay.
like, but I don't like it. But
Dude, Bryce loves candy corn. He was telling me like yesterday that like he ate a whole bag at a party once.
oh, that would make me. I would literally throw up.
Yeah, he's a candy fiend. But
I am too,
see,
but I don't like candy corn.
with
just
Halloween, my
sugar.
only complaint is that like a lot of the candies just kind of like I don't really care about. Like I don't really care about Dots. I don't care about Twizzlers. I don't really care about. I don't like Jolly Ranchers.
You're not fun. That's why.
Well, I mean, I like candy, but not all the candy. And I prefer like darker chocolates, not as sweet. I
You
like
prefer,
sweets, but not-
celery and carrots and apples.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, but I think that'll do it for this. This year's Halloween episode. I'm sure we'll be back next year with some more, Halloween or off Halloween topic discussions. Next month, next week, which will be also next month, November, we are celebrating our 1 year of Relatively Sound. So we're going to have a special 1 year anniversary episode next week. So stay tuned for that. And until then, we hope you take care and you'll be hearing from us soon. Happy Halloween.
Boo.
I took my trouble down to Madame Ruth's. You know that woman with the gold cap tooth. She's got a pad down 34th and Vine, selling little bottles of the potion number 9. I told her that I was a flop with chicks. It's been that way since 1996. She looked at my palm and she made a magic sign. She says what you need is the potion number 9. She bent down and turned around and gave me a wink. She says I'm gonna make it up right here in the sink. It smelled like turpentine, it looked like India ink. I held my nose, I closed my eyes, and I took a drink. I didn't know if it was day or night. I started kissing everything inside. When I kissed a cop down at 34th and Vine, he broke my little bottle of the potion number 9. She bent down and turned around and gave me a wink. She says I'm gonna make it up right here in the sink. It smelled like turpentine, it looked like India ink. I held my nose, I closed my eyes, and I took a drink. I didn't know if it was day or night. I started kissing everything inside, but when I kissed a cop down 34th and Vine, it broke my little